Looks like I'm live, and it's not even 5. That's so jive. How's it going, everybody? How are you doing out there, YouTubeville, YouTube land? How are all you hip cats and cats doing? I don't know what that lady said, but whatever it was terrible. Can somebody give me a microphone check? It's monotonous, but I do it every time I go live. If you can't hear me, I guess you're going to start saying, "We can't hear you. You suck. I want my money back." I don't know why you're talking like Christopher Walken. Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? Sonic the Hedgehog. Wow, this is a new name. Never seen you before. Hidden Jackpots is here. You've been around. Reno's here. How you doing, Reno? Happy birthday. Check good. Happy birthday to Caroline. Sweet Caroline. My friend Kevin is here. Hey, moderators, if you're moderating, be moderate. Don't be extremists. And I'm not saying any of you are extremists in that political sense, but if somebody posts something, it's not, this is what I want moderated: anti-Semitism, misogyny, which is against women, racism, and I don't know, just any kind of discrimination on a person's creed or political stuff. We can talk politics. Well, I'm not going to talk politics. You can talk politics, but I don't want people banned because somebody says something that you don't agree with politically either. All right, so how's everybody doing today? Bob's Bugs is here. Get to the chopper. Yeah, God, it never gets old, does it? Mad Max asks if we can say curse words. Occasionally, that's fine, but if you do it all the time, it's not fine all the time. Saludos, Tony Quest says. Hi, Tony. Guys, I got my moderators in the house. I got everybody here, and we're going to talk about the law in Las Vegas. It's one stream a day, number 8, continual. It's a marathon. I technically never stop streaming. I just sit here talking on this chair for 24 hours straight after I'm finished with you. It's more like 22 and a half hours because my live streams are 90 minutes. So this will be a 90-minute live stream. So that means we have 87 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Jeff likes my Codman knowledge. I like not showing up to live streams with my asthma kicking up, but I was taking the yard work to the extremes today. Yes, I'm drinking straight vodka and no ice. Yeah, right. So thank you guys so much, by the way, with the wife's birthday. She was very happy that you guys were able to give her some birthday wishes. And your cool support, which I never asked for. And that's another thing, too. We get this out front right now in the live stream. I'm going to look at questions. I'm going to look at answers. I'm going to have to be picky and choosy because whereas when I had 50 people in my chat, it was very easy for me to answer everybody. But when you have 400 people or 200 or 300 in your chat, it gets to be more difficult. Chat rate right now is 35 per minute, which means that every 2 seconds or less, something is flying past the screen. Did you all see my video today? If you saw my video today, you saw how I got asked to leave the Bellagio. I knew that would be something that might happen if I brought a lawn chair out to the Las Vegas Strip, but I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. So Arlene is asking, by the way, here's the deal. I'll pursuant to my last point, and I'm going way off path because I'm not a professional broadcaster, podcaster. I will not sit there and tell you, I will not ignore your question unless you pay me. That's what somebody suggested last night. That was very annoying. I just can't see all the questions. So if you guys decide to super chat, that's super nice. Remember when you're doing YouTubers, send them a Cash App or a PayPal. YouTube takes 30% of everything if you do it that way, if you're sending them large amounts, because that's ridiculous. YouTube is kind of taking a rake, as they call it. So I'm not expecting that ever. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Why was I kicked off or asked to leave the Bellagio? Now, I had a lot of people. It's very polarizing. And I knew that there would be a chance that bringing a lawn chair and sitting on the strip like that would be putting a target on my back any other day. I figured right now, who cares, right? Now, of course, they see that, and maybe they think that I'm setting up there to sit out and do a camp out, and I'm doing some kind of wacky thing. But obviously, I'm not. I'm talking into a camera. They can see the camera. They can see me come in there. I'm just one guy. I'm dressed nice. I'm not dressed like somebody who's going to be an urban camper. But at the same time, man, they sure asked me to leave quickly today. Now, why was I asked to leave? That's what I keep asking. I was asked to leave, simply put, because I was not on public property. I thought it was on public property, but if you watch the beginning of the video, I was actually found out after the fact that I was on de Blasio's property. Now, there's a way to do this. You go to a website, GIS data is what it is. It's a general inquiry to where and who owns what. You can search any address in Las Vegas. It'll tell you what company or what property owner is in charge of that property. It all has lines. It's overlaid on Google Earth. Very convenient. As soon as I saw that and I went, are you kidding me? I was on their property the whole time, and that's why I didn't resist that guy. Now, I could have been like, are you kidding me? I'm on public property. I asked him, I left, I put it to bed. Now, de Blasio is not going to get very good publicity out of that, I'm sure. Some of you guys have been nice enough to email de Blasio and MGM Resorts International and say, I watch this person. He's actually talking and promoting Las Vegas through this hard time. We watch him all the time. I have to make sure April's a moderator. April is a moderator now. Be nice to April. Last night somebody put her on timeout erroneously. We don't want that. And some people will say, I'm not going to the Bellagio. I'm not going to go to the MGM. That's your prerogative. I'm not telling you that you should or should not go there. But this is the way it works in Las Vegas. And I'm going to draw an analogy. Imagine that you own 10 acres of land and there's mountains on both sides of you and a stream on the other side. The stream is something that everybody has access to, but they have to go through your land in order to get to the stream. Well, if they have to go through your land, you have private property. You're not going to sell your property and make it public. What you do is you get with the jurisdiction, the county, the state, the province, wherever you might be from, the parish. Somebody reminded me I have to say parish because of Louisiana. Guarantee. But you would create a private public right of way, meaning that you own the land. You might carve out 10 feet across so trucks can go down and get the water. But if at any given moment you decided you didn't want that particular truck on your property, you can just tell them, sorry, you can't come on my property. So everybody should be super nice to you. And in Las Vegas, that's what they've done. So to me, it seems like what they've done is simple. I equated it to the timeshare people, but I guess it is for everybody. It's for the timeshare people. It's for the buskers. It's for the street performers. It's for the religious people. It's for the protesters. It's for the people that want to be out there and be evangelicals and talk about the Bible. They make it so now the property owns everything right up to the street. Now you might say, that's preposterous. How can they do that? Well, as long as one side of the street keeps some kind of public right-of-way, then that makes it so people can always walk across the street. You're not forcing them into traffic. This is exactly what happened at the Treasure Island. If you're ever standing in front of the Treasure Island on the boardwalk that faces where the old pirate ship is, you look down and there's this little narrow 2.5-foot sidewalk conveniently built in. Oh, thank you, Victor Kral. Salamat, Victor Kral. Gracias, Victor Kral, merci beaucoup, and you are awesome. And thank you guys. Thank Victor Kral for chipping in. That's cool of him. So when I get stopped by security on the strip or by anybody on the strip like that, I know that there's a good chance that I am actually on their private property, although it seems like I'm not. Now, my understanding was that when there's a public utility pole, you're generally on county property, but that's not the case. So in that case, the public utility company would have access to that pole at any time. Bellagio couldn't do anything about that, but they can very well say, move along, sir, we don't want you here. Now, why wouldn't they want to promote the Bellagio? That's another thing altogether. Champagne Poppy, I don't gamble. The most I ever won was $20 at a slot machine once. No, I lied to you. I won $50 once at a slot machine, all in coins. Brought it back to Canada. Discovered the hard way that you can't get currency exchange on coins in Canada. $50 of quarters. Terrible, terrible. At the time, that was like $70 Canadian or some obscenely large amount with the bad exchange rate back in the early 2000s. But when you get stopped, you have to realize you might be on their private property. There's a whole bunch of different laws. Now, the first thing he did in that case was he asked me politely to move. Oh, Herbert Daughtry, Herbert Daughtry, Herbert Daughtry, Herbert Daughtry, Herbert Daughtry. Thank you so much. If I say it 5 times, wow. Herbert said he sent me a PayPal. That's nice of you, Herbert. Thank you so much. You don't have to do any of that stuff because I'm here for you to have fun with you guys and hang out socially on a channel. Plus, this gets my energy up. I feel like a fighter before the fight. You got to get your energy up. But I'm really out of shape, so I have bad cardio levels right now. That's what happens when you're shut in under stress and you use food to get your endorphins up instead of positive things. So, you're in the casino. They come up to you. How do you handle being in the casino alone by yourself with a group of people and they've targeted you? Well, first things first, don't run away. That's just ridiculous. If you run away, you're in big trouble. By the way, I hate to tell you this. All of this stuff is stuff that I will likely recycle into a video at some point. Whoa, Ukerland. Thank you. I don't know. You're the cool one, not me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So, first of all, understand that, whoa, Paul, rotter, or is it rotor, like the rotors on a boat? Thank you so much, Paul. That is very nice of you. Whoa. It's called a public easement, as Sandman57 says, and he's right. Again, you have a mountain on both sides of you, a road and water. You create that public easement. And if they don't want you on the property, they don't have to let you on the property. Now, like I say, any given day, who knows? Right now, I know one thing. The casinos are insane right now about who they are letting film in some spots. The reason being is simple, I guess. They feel like maybe people are frowning on the city, but what they don't know is what I've tried to tell people. Go look on my YouTube channel. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel. There's bigger YouTubers out there. There's other ones that are bigger in Vegas, but people are asking me questions and they want the city to open. So I'm going to try to show them that. Now, did I put a target on my back having the chair? Sure. So let's say the security approaches you. Don't run away. That's the stupidest thing you could ever do. In my experience, if you have no issues, you probably shouldn't run away from the police or the security people. Secondly, they could be looking for somebody else. Don't act nervous. Don't act stupid. Don't cop an attitude. Just drop all of that. Now, if they really want you gone, they don't need a reason for wanting you gone. These are all private places of business. And in the case of being outside the Bellagio, evidently it's a private way and it's a public easement. So any other day, they're letting people walk through. They're letting people take videos. Who knows? Maybe if I showed up there with a professional camera, which I do not own, but a big old digital SLR with 15 different attachments that looks professional, maybe they would have asked me to leave if it was a year ago. I don't know, but I do know I have seen guys walking there with $2,000 gimbals, that's the stabilizer, and $10,000 red cameras, which is what they film things for Netflix and for television and for movies for, and they've never given these guys much of a problem. People film in front of the Bellagio all the time. So some people say, it's Okerland. Thank you, and I'll make sure Okerland or Okerland. I'll say it right the next time. If there's a next time. If there's not, I'll still say it right now. Okerland. So, I don't know. The next question I got with that was, what kind of security guard came out to you? Well, I will tell you this. It wasn't a guy on his first day on the job. So there are two types of security people. Okay? There's the guy that you never want to deal with. And then there's the guy that looks like he hates his job and he's only coming out to you because the guy that you never want to see, he's in an office somewhere. And he is saying, go tell that guy not to be here. Well, I didn't get that young guy. I got the main dude today. And how do I know this? Main dudes in Las Vegas often look like they served a... Now, before I say this, all the respect in the world needs to go out to the armed forces of every single country unless they're the bad guys in the world. You know who the bad guys are. You paint the bad guys in your head. I'm talking about any country that is democracy and they fight for the people. All the respect in the world. But those guys, when they're done, after they've been through the you-know-what, the hit with an S at the beginning, they oftentimes get hired at the casino. So picture in your mind a guy who's 20 years old. He's just doing this because he's got a kid. He has to make some money, take care of the family. He doesn't really want to be there. He asks y'all to leave. And he kind of looks like, I know, man, I got to ask you to leave. Oh, you're a Cowboys fan. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but you know what I mean. Like they'll talk with you. This guy was not that guy. This guy comes up, brush cut, looks like he's got the weathered face, mid to late 40s, camo shirt, big buff dude, wearing the jeans, got the Oakley sunglasses on, about 6'3" tall. That's the guy that I got today. So when that guy comes up to you, you know there is either a serious problem or everybody else is busy, but you never want to deal with that guy. So don't be a smartass to that guy. If they ask you for who you are, what you're doing, Just be polite. Say, I'm just here. I'm just gambling. I'm just gaming. I'm for wherever. If they ask you to see your ID, I don't think you have to do that. You can choose to leave the property. I mean, that's illegal search and seizure if they demand to see it. But if you do if you do refuse to give it back, they have every right at any point in that conversation to tell you to turn around and look at the camera. But first, they'll probably ask you to leave. They'll say, sir, I'd like you to leave the property. And they'll say, leave the property for 48 hours or for a day or forever. And if they ask you forever, in most cases, they're going to ask you to turn around. And before you even know it, somebody's going to take your picture. Or there's somewhere else in the casino. And he'll say, look up above you. You'll look up. He'll say, you're on camera. He'll read out an 86 rights card to you. 86 means you're banned from the casino. It might be that casino. It might be other casinos. Once you're done, you're done. You should not show up there again. And it doesn't matter if you put on a Groucho Marx mask. If they really want you out, they're going to analyze the tape. They're going to run it through a computer algorithm. And this is only for the extreme bad guys that are in Nevada's Black Book, which is something we'll talk about on the channel. And like I said, I'm going to likely recycle this into another video at some point in the future where I tell it a little bit more succinctly in a 10-minute period. Once you're done, you're done. They can analyze a person's gait if they really don't like you. They can know how you walk. They can use all sorts of technologies. You should leave. You shouldn't come back. If you come back after they've read you your trespassing rights, the NRS, the Nevada Revised Statute, says that they have every right to detain you. They can pull you into the back room. They can hold you in cuffs on the property, and then they can call the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And that's not what you want to have happen. That would just ruin your vacation. That will take up all your time in the world. If you're a local in Las Vegas, don't even push it to that level. So I tell people, just don't push it. Just get to the point where you just leave the property. And that's really it. I mean, handle the F out of me. I don't know what that means, Alex. We got some comments here. Let's read some comments. What would Arnold say? Arnold would say, what are you doing? You idiot! Get your hands off me! That's what he would say, Victor. Victor only shows up and does the Patreon for the Arnold voices. But I really want to go to Las Vegas in July. I heard a possible second wave of CV. We may have at least 18 months, John Boy says. I don't know about that, John. I sure hope that's not the case. Let's see here. I was getting asked for ID buying alcohol at CVS. I'm 54. That's corporate policy. Last weekend in May, too early. I have it on good authority, and I can't guarantee you guys yet that everything should be okay by May 15th or May 16th to get some people back in the casinos. But like I mentioned in my video today, it might be longer than that. Now, there's other issues about being in Las Vegas. The way Vegas is set, the way it's shaped. Imagine that this cheap box of hangers that I need to hang some hats on, imagine this represents the Strip. And the Strip runs this way. It kind of tilts up like that. And there's actually a watch command for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Sorry for shaking the camera. And they take care of everything from Hacienda Road, Russell Road area, all the way up to Charleston by the Stratosphere. They also go to Industrial Road and over to Paradise. This is where the cops are all kind of wired into the same watch command. The security is wired into the watch command as well. These guys generally know what's going on in the Strip. They know who's who. They know what's what. They know what to look out for. They know what to not look out for. Oftentimes on the Strip, you see other officers. It's not to say that they don't know what's going on. They have different types of business that they have to attend to. Maybe they're taking a deposition or a report from somebody that had something happen to them, and it's not related to the Strip. The Strip police are the ones that were wearing the yellow. And they ride bicycles often. In the past, I've seen them with electric motorcycles, which was weird. And when I asked about that, the officer said it's because they don't want the bad guys to hear them. I thought very astute, but then they got rid of those. They park cars in odd spots on the Strip with nobody in them. Just like when we were driving down through Nipton, Nipton, it's a small town down in California. There was an old beat-up Crown Victoria painted in police colors. And my wife's friend was like, oh no, slow down, there's a cop. I'm like, well, I'm not speeding, because that's not me. I'm Captain Canuck over here. And I'm like, but that's not a police car. They just put that there so you will slow down because there is a sign back there and people slow down when they see that. And that's just a generalized show of force. The security will also obviously wear yellow to try to scare you into thinking that they're the police when they are not the police. And the police generally do, I think, have a tough gig on the Strip. So this is not an anti-police or a pro-police kind of video. It just is what it is. And it can be tough for them. I mean, you got to think about all of the miscreants and riffraff that they have to deal with. Then they also have to deal with some people that might not handle their alcohol very well. They have to deal with all the people that might be out looking for trouble. And there's all sorts of undercover cops and things like that I'll put into a video. So subscribe to this channel if you just waltzed in here. Holy cow, why do I have 405 people watching? Some guy from Canada who lives in Las Vegas now? It makes zero sense. Let's take some comments and see what's going on. Thank you to my moderators today. Let's see, we got tough gig. I'm not sure about that. DDR says, well, Dance Dance Revolution Hazy. I will say this. When you were right next door to California, and you have all those folks, and a lot of those folks will leave California to come to Las Vegas because there's a bunch of things. There's quick money to be made. There's all sorts of 3-card money games. I once saw a 3-card money game that ended up in extreme violence that I can't even talk about on the channel because YouTube doesn't like people talking about violent acts. It goes against their policies and their content rules. Okay, I've seen that happen. I have seen people flat out brawl. I have seen people on, I can't talk about a lot of this stuff, but I've seen people on certain types of addictive chemicals that look like Supermen on the strip. I saw police surround a guy that was almost trying to tip a car over because he was freaking out because of something, and I saw them surround that guy. It took 5 officers, no less than 5 police officers to hold this guy down. I mean, you never know what you're rolling up on if you're a law enforcement officer. Now, I know some people have had good experiences and some people have bad experiences. And my experiences have been a mixed bag. I've had other problems with them and I've had good experiences with them. We called them because we got broken into several years ago. Super bad experience. It was a joke. But I've had other experiences on the strip where they were quite helpful in helping us with some things. My only Aussie guy, Tony, well, I know where you really live, and I do have another Aussie that also doesn't live in Australia, Mr. Tony D, but thank you for being here. I was disappointed too, but what was I going to do? Put my camera down? I used to do that in the past. I was very, very much a wuss. And I would go home and I'd be like, I'm afraid. My wife was like, stop it. Yes. DDR Hazy says Metro makes 6 figures a year. They get well paid. There's more dangerous professions out there. DDR Hazy says, for the record, the Metro, as far as I understand, and maybe DDR will post some proof in here, Metro starts at about $50,000, $60,000 a year. I don't know about that 6-figure mark. $100,000 a year sounds like something that you pay somebody who is actually in there for a long time. Actually, let's see, Sheriff Lombardi salary. You got to figure that one's public, right? The sheriff, the average sheriff and police officer in the United States makes $108,000 as of March 26, 2020, but their range falls between $102,000 to $115,000. So I guess DDR is saying that the average police officer makes 6 figures. It seems like only sheriffs make 6 figures. And as far as I know, every sheriff is an elected thing that you have to vote for. So I don't think the average police officer makes that. DDR, you might want to check your numbers on there. Let's see here. Yeah. DDR, yes. If they run the entire police department, they can make that money. And we're not arguing with DDR. We're just explaining that the average police officer does not make 6 figures. That would assume that there are police officers making mid to high 6 figures and that there are people making far less, because that's how you do averages. Average means right in the middle. And there's only one top dog, and they're not right in the middle. Vegas is a rough place. It's a fair starting wage. I'd say that's true. Plus, they have excellent health benefits for those officers, too. Okay. Google Vegas sergeant salary. Let's Google the Vegas sergeant salary. LVMPD SARGEANT salary. So the Las Vegas sergeant salary is $62,000 per year, 62 to 94 if you're in the 90th percentile. So yeah, the average is not 6 figures. The 90th percentile sergeant isn't 6 figures. So let's assume that most of the cops that are riding on bikes or doing regular traffic things are well paid, and they have a line of work that puts them in more dangerous duty than others. And you know what? There are more dangerous gigs out there. You could go and do Alaskan crab fishing. That's a much more dangerous job, and it probably pays higher. But oftentimes, teachers don't get paid enough. Teachers should get paid more money, don't you think? Don't you think teachers are important? Teachers are in a very precarious situation. Anybody who super specializes in one thing is in a very interesting situation. We're not even talking about Vegas. Shame on me. But I will point this out. Why do you think doctors graduate medical school and then go into a specialty? Okay, they graduate medical school, they go into a specialty because there's only a few of them that are excellent at what they do and they can get paid excellent amounts of money. Teachers are in a specialty. Airline pilots are in a specialty. Now, if you're in a specialty thing and you are not in a union or you're not an essential, you're in big trouble because what happens when we don't need you anymore? What happens? Well, I don't know. You don't have a job, so you better be in a union that protects your job. Whereas somebody who is like a CEO of a company or somebody who is a manager in the restaurant field, they're more hireable from place to place because they know how to do every bit of every little thing. Reno says, I did, Steve. Oh, I got 419. That's very cool. Thank you guys for watching. I got East Side in Vegas in here. Yeah, teachers don't make enough. Teachers rock. My daughter is one of the best. Absolutely, Connie. My aunts were all teachers on my father's side. And my Aunt Arlene was actually my fifth grade teacher. My Aunt Arlene was my fifth grade teacher in Niagara Falls, Canada. Holy cow. They make their money with overtime, so 6 figures is easy to do. Well, then we should all become police officers. Mark, I don't know if it's a line of work that I could go into, though, because I'm probably not the best with people when it comes to difficult situations. Airline pilots are a specialty, and that's why they have a strong union for airline pilots, because what are you going to do if you don't work for that airline and they're not hiring? You're not going to go teach school. You're not going to go be a police officer. You don't have that line of work. But if you're a forensics investigator or you're a special thing in the police department that deals with data and information, let's say you work in the data department of the police station and you work in logistics, or for example, if you work in logistics and you're very good at what you do, get hired at UPS, get hired at FedEx, get hired at Amazon, get hired at any of the delivery companies in the world. So you have more broad knowledge that makes you more hireable. Sean, you spent underrated. Wrong, bro. I know that. Be careful at the strip. Quaint Celine says, I agree with you, Celine. You're essential for the videos. Not exactly, John. Anybody can do what I do. You just need a camera and the nerve to walk all over the strip, I guess. Hail, everyone just got here. Hi, Red Pill Gary. Be careful, Fremont Street is also private, all along the covered portion. Yes, this is very true, and those entertainers have their little circles. I think my days of walking with a chair are over. I think from now on we will just take the GoPro Hero 7 Black and my little Gorilla Pod and take our chances. Looks like Sisolak isn't easing up on restrictions. That's a shame. Money asks if there's any jobs in Vegas. There are jobs in grocery stores and shipping companies, and if you have a car, you can work anywhere, essentially. Clifford says he's special. Clifford is special. Clifford is now a moderator. He's one of my moderators on our Facebook group for Not Leaving Las Vegas. William appreciates me. That's quite a few LA school district teachers that make 6 figures a year than you think. I believe you. I don't have to Google it, Rocco. I'm just going to take your word for it. I got Holbrook, Arizona. Celine Queen is here. Our sources say the buffets at Treasure Island and Golden Nugget are done for good with other permanent closures in the works. There's just too much risk moving forward, Howard says. And I promise you guys, when that comes to pass and that's a real deal, then I will find out. And then there will be a couple of really popular buffets. I don't imagine Caesars will be closing their buffets because they didn't want to close their buffets last time. Why would they want to close them this time? That just seems to make sense. I supposed to come visit in May. I hope things be okay just to see you, think. Okay, Katrina, I think May, maybe they're open. Can we get some updated Vegas from today, Champagne says. I don't look at the news at night, Champagne. I spend the first part of my morning looking at it. And so I'll be doing a video in the morning tomorrow. Can you film off the strip with the hotels in the background, Joel? I can. It's not as glamorous as you think, and the only views that I can get from up high are from far off the strip, so it might be teeny tiny with me behind it, and I don't have a camera that zooms in. I use my GoPro, and my GoPro does not have a zoom lens for obvious reasons. It's a GoPro, and I don't have an applicable camera with a good zoom lens, or else I would definitely do that. Believe it or not, I make my videos on a very budget setup. I think you can probably buy one of these older GoPros for $300 maybe. This microphone was donated by somebody who's awesome. So my setup is very bare bones and mineral. It's very mineral. Oh man. Okay. The risk is not worth shutting down the economy, Sean says. How long do you think it will be open to open Vegas, Scott? Maybe a few weeks. It'll open up in phases. When people ask how much should teachers make, my only response to them is how much do we value your child's future? Nobody asks if bombs cost too much. Very interesting take, Jack Carr. Let's see. What will be the kickoff event to open Vegas? I don't think there will be a kickoff event, Joseph. I think the big kickoff will be when everybody feels safe. Maybe that'll be the Garth Brooks concert at the Allegiant Stadium. That was still canceled. If they have glass and someone serving the food rather than everyone serving them with the same spoon, I think buffets would be okay. Red Pill makes a good point. Check their websites. They are gone. Howard Glickman, because they are not on the website, it doesn't mean they are gone. Websites can change and they can always be updated and then they can be back. You can't work off of this until the casinos make official announcements because casinos are publicly traded companies. They have to let people know what they're going to do. Their investors need to know, hey, we're canceling the buffets, because that's something that they put into their food service, into their income. So if you're an investor in the company that owns Golden Nugget, I can't remember the name of it right now, the Landry Group or whatever it's called, the one that owns like steakhouses, Tim Ferretta, I think his name is. If you are an investor in that company, you have every right to know that they're going to be doing that. And that's when things kind of get leaked to the press. They don't get leaked to me. They get leaked to other big things like VegasInsider.com and stuff like that. That's when he says we have very credible sources that say this is happening. That's oftentimes a leak from an investor who got an email that was, do not disclose, confidential. So I have not seen anything like that happen. And you can argue me all day long, but we'll see what happens with that. Until it's reported as news, do not consider it as the gospel. Consider it as a rumor because somebody noticed that, oh my God, the website for the Golden Nuggets changed. Well, what if they took off their hotel reservation system for a day or two? What everybody says, oh my God, you guys, the hotel at the Golden Nugget is closed forever because I can't see the rooms. No, but everybody's worried about their sanitation. Albert Sancho asks, Steve, are you going to the Raiders or UNLV football game at Allegiant? I've always wanted to go to one of those games. I won't be able to afford it, Albert, because from what I heard from a season ticket holder who paid $3,000, he had way up high seats for a 30-year personal seat license. He said basically they were telling him his tickets, which he buys $3,000, then he buys a ticket mandatory $100 per game for 8 games, plus 2 preseason, I think is 10. So every year he spends $1,000. They told him his $1,000 investment is worth a lot. He says, look, they said game 1 was rumored to be Thursday night football or whatever the kickoff is, and it was rumored to be something crazy like the 49ers playing the Oakland Raiders in Las Vegas as the Vegas Raiders, and then they told him those tickets would sell for $1,000 a piece. He'd make all of his money back, no, unless I was some unscrupulous sales guy, because yes, they exist. That's a lot of money. I'm not paying that much money. I'm sorry. I can't justify it. I mean, I can't. I won't. If I had the money, then you justify it. Everybody always says that, by the way. They say, oh, I would never, even if I had the money. Baloney. If you had the money, you would definitely do those things. You don't have the money, so you don't want to do those things, so you stop your mind from thinking what you would do if you have it. So Sean is pointing out that Ruth Chris Steakhouse received money in bailouts. So here's the deal. They're not receiving bailouts as much as they're receiving the Small Business Association loans. And I did read that article as well. Ruth Chris plus a couple of other ones, they're receiving money when small businesses are not. I guess that's just the case of large businesses knowing how to game the system and small businesses having to eat dirt, which is a shame because I guarantee you that if I drove up in a truck that said, KTLA News from Los Angeles or KTNV Channel 13 Action News, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have chased me off of the Bellagio today. But somebody suggested I get a press pass. That was preposterous. I'm not getting a press pass. It will never happen. Jim says that 70% of the seats will be sold to others about the Raiders. That is a very, very, very interesting topic that I read about. Now, they said that in most NFL stadiums, somewhere between 8 to 20% could be visiting teams. But in Vegas, they were predicting up to 50 to 60%. If it's 70 now, that's nuts. But the question I have is, how much are they going to rely on locals who are okay to travel that short distance to the stadium to watch the games versus people from out of town who then now have to come here? Did some promoting of your channel last night to help boost the sub count, Red Pill. Well, that's very nice, Red Pill. I hope that you're not giving me... Oh, boy. Hey, Red Pill Gary. I don't want to get subscribers because people are buying them. That's the thing. So I'm a little bit concerned that I should take your moderator tag away because I did notice a large bump in my subscribership. But I don't want a large bump in my subscribership if it's bot subscriptions, because that breaks the YouTube terms of service. I have zero interest in that whatsoever. So yeah, that's actually worrisome. I don't want to do this because I buy subscribers. I want to do this because I'm good at what I do. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry if the tone of my live stream just disappeared. Red Pill, I don't want bot subscribers if that's what you're talking about. So please, whatever you're doing, don't necessarily do it if it's by means that are not completely good. Could I shout out Tiger Claw Karate Dojo? Its instructors love you and your channel. Michael Miller asks. Shout out to Tiger Claw. That's an awesome name for a karate dojo. I did martial arts as a kid, and then I did Filipino martial arts. Oh, okay, Red Pill. That's more of a shout out on other channels I'm part of. Thank you, Red Pill Gary. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I dialed it down like that, because I don't want people to watch this channel because, well, I want them to. Okay, so Carrie Long asked me to explain buying subscribers. So there's two ways to do things. There's always the good way, and then there's the bad way. And back in the old Wild West, the sheriffs and the law always wore white hats, and the outlaws wore black hats. And at this point, we have the term white hat and black hat hacker. And we also have the term white hat and black hat SEO services. There's also a gray area that you have to be very careful about. So if I go over to anywhere on the internet that does like farms, I can buy subscribers. I can boost all of that. I can boost your subscriber base by simply paying a company to give you 10,000 subscribers within a few days. And what'll happen is they'll go to a click farm, which is usually located in the third world. It can be in the Philippines, where my wife is from. So before you call me racist, I'm not. It can be in Vietnam. It can be in Cambodia, India, anywhere where people make very little money, unfortunately. And you'll see entire walls of cell phones, and they're running little automated applications. What the hackers do is they steal your YouTube channel, and they take your YouTube channel and they scrape it, get your ID, they log you in, and then they basically subscribe, thousands and thousands and thousands at a time. It's not good at all. And I'm going to request Red Pill Gary email me, please. I'd like to speak with you. I just want to know what you're doing. Please email me, Red Pill Gary. It's important that you do. If you don't email me, I'm a little bit worried and concerned right now, because it makes no sense. Look, guys, it makes zero sense whatsoever. What makes no sense? The fact that I'm gaining subscribers as quickly as I have been. Now I'm thinking that my whole channel is a farce. And since I started this, I gained 23 subscribers. It doesn't make any sense. You know, in the last few days, I've gained 1,200. That doesn't make any sense. So, Red Pill Gary, please send me an email. Appreciate it very much, my friend. Yeah, UNLV, I just still need Red Pill Gary to email me. I'm falling apart here. I'm a little bit of an anxiety-driven creature, and this YouTube channel is doing well for me, but if I break the rules and you buy subscribers, what happens then is YouTube will eventually detect it. And then one day, overnight, boom, you could lose half your subscribers because they were purchased. Or YouTube could just close your channel down and say that you're gaming the system. So, there's what that is. And also, Bruce says it's possible. I can't understand it. I can't wrap my mind of it. It doesn't make any sense. My subscriber counts have been shooting up. I think it's because so many people are not working and watching a lot more videos. CXI from the net is putting my mind at ease. Still asking Red Pill Gary to go ahead and email me. Well, let's turn this ship around. April asks if it's a bit strange, that bump. To that extent, it is a bit strange, April. I've never had a bump like that before, but I have had periods where in one day I gained 400 at one point in a single day. But this is just like ridiculous now at this point. See, because last week on Thursday, I had 15,400, and now I have 17,500. So you don't gain 2,000 subscribers in a week usually. At least I don't. Maybe it's... The thing is, I'm afraid the channel falls apart. I'm afraid that once... I want this to end. If it ended tomorrow, I would be way more happy than if I had more subscribers. But if it ended tomorrow, that would be very bothersome to me. So, anyways, that's what that is. Um, yeah, so let's get on to your comments here. I'm just trying to help, no bad intentions. I'm a mod on a couple of channels. I would still love Red Pill to email me so I can just chat with him because he's a fellow Canuck like me, and I like to talk with Canadians about things we can't watch anymore, like hockey. And then I could ask him to send me some poutine in the mail, but that might be strange. Maybe the word is out that I have connections. Bruce, I don't know about that, my friend. At my work, while in the break room, coworkers ask what I do in Vegas. I tell them what you do. I recommend your channel. That's cool. I noticed one thing that's very strange. I did notice that most people are searching. The number one search term that brings me to my channel is the name of my channel. That's so weird because every YouTube channel has a very individual name. But people find my channel by typing in Not Leaving Las Vegas. That is a very particular name. It makes no sense, right? So, okay, we're going to be assuming that Red Pill Gary's doing only nice things. Saskatchewan has 4 deaths and is locked down. What a joke. Well, I know, Jason, but I understand also the healthcare system in Saskatchewan. I mean, you guys don't want to be overloaded, and Canadian healthcare is different than here. Steve, did I ever go to the indoor skydiving? Reaper said, I'd rather go real skydiving, although I said in a video before I wouldn't. But if I was going to spend the money, I'd probably just do real skydiving with a coupon. SS Vegas has sent me a happy message. Very nice. It's possible to morph subscribers during this time. I guess that's true. Are there any good places for poutine in Vegas? A Canadian delight. Jim said, my wife makes awesome poutine, but y'all can't come here, so you can go down. There's a place called Poutine Palace, maybe? I don't know. They're over on Harmon in Paradise, and they do designer poutine, so they put all sorts of stuff on it. It's supposedly pretty good. Welcome to the Trillionaire Suite, shouted Ray Gallion as he shoved Wilkerson out the window. What is going to happen at the smaller casinos like Emerald Island, who bought the Rainbow Casino? I don't know. Those are really small casinos that I don't know enough about, I'm afraid. But I think they'll be first to open, Dean, because we need some kind of soft opening. Jim asks if they send me channel data. I have all sorts of channel data, Jim. I can see how many subscribers came, but not where they came from. Shane Farron hit me with $2. I appreciate Shane Farron. Thank you guys so very much. YouTube usage is up 80%. Yes, Patreon is up 80% too. And anxiety medications are up. Yeah, I'm not on any medications. I think the locals will have an easier opening than the big boys. I agree with you, Jock. Hi, Brett. Brett's here. Hello, boss from Vegas, too. I'm new here. I hope you have a great day, you too. Reno, a new record. Yeah, new record. Maybe it is just Red Pill Gary is just giving me some good word of mouth because I've never had 450 people in my chat before, and I almost reached it just now, which was very cool. So, I went to the why they chased me off today. You type in Vegas in the search bar on YouTube and it brings you and others up. That doesn't surprise me, Mark. I got blessed with some videos with some views. And I'm not mad at Red Pill Gary. I'm just worried that I don't want to buy subscribers. I've been accused of that, and I've never done that before. Ever. And I never will. Go Reno, go. Reno is shouting me out and doing a good job. On May 31st, I'll be in Vegas. Just want to know what you think it'll be like. It'll be like a little mini baby version of Vegas. So it'll be like if you travel back in time to the 80s version of Vegas. Room comps up or down. I think it's all calculated on your gaming, so just game. Winterpeg is here. Gav is here. SB says, I need to chill the heck out, and it's real. After losing 80 billion in hours at Melrose Park / Jim decided how... I don't know what Andrew Doolittle's doing, but he's like writing a story in my chat. It's pretty interesting. I have a trip booked for October. Do I think it'll be fully opened? Gerald, I don't think anything in this world gets fully opened until we have a safe and tested vaccine or herd immunity. Ali is here because he likes Vegas. I appreciate that, Ali. Jeffrey is out. He's got to go and cook. Good night, everybody. Hi from Skio, Oregon. Running at altitude sounds tiring again, but think running at altitude, altitude at altitude running, and running at altitude. I said it 5 times differently. I think it's way too much bleach is all. I think they are sanitizing everything. You've been making consistent content, and there are a lot of viewers who are curious about the state of things Vegas is in. This is true, Cat Image. Thank you for talking me off a cliff. Anthony T. Are the local ranches considered essential businesses? No, they're not, Anthony, and I We'll answer you, and you're super chatted. So we can't talk about that too much on the channel, but I did talk about that over on my Patreon, where I can put things on Vimeo, and then I don't have to worry about the censorship bots at YouTube saying I'm not allowed to talk about that kind of stuff. But you guys know we have that. It's a thing in Las Vegas. I don't think they're open because on the strip today, all of the boxes that had those kinds of materials were completely empty. Steven, did you ever see the most expensive room at the Palms? You should check it out on YouTube. I know Reaper, but if anybody's going to check it out on YouTube, I want them to check out mine, although I'm sure there's other better ones than what I could ever do. I did go up to one of the more expensive suites at the Delano, and that was kind of cool. Will guys still wear masks at the clubs? Probably they will. It would not surprise me. It would make sense. Although masks are going to be hard to breathe in. Johnny is here, new subscriber. When it's hot, it's hard to breathe in a mask. I'm just going to tell you. And I do have a collection of hats. People used to send me the hats. I haven't gotten one since, but I bought this one. This is my Calgary Flames. Go Flames, go. I can't see myself in my own image. So I got my Flames going on for my hometown team, 1988 Stanley Cup champions. I do have my finals hat that I bought, Stanley Cup final. I got it for real cheap the day that they lost to the Washington Capitals. Worst day of my life. I do have my Niners. Don't get mad at me. But I also have Raiders and more hats. Look at this. You guys want to see some hats? Why not? So you guys can know what I'm always wearing. This is from Dublin, Ireland. It's actually got the skyline of Dublin. It was given to me by a nice couple from Dublin who visited me here in Las Vegas. I have my Stanley Cup champions designer cool hat, one of a kind, never going to exist again. Well, it's conference champions, my bad. And then, of course, I have my Raiders gear, so don't tell me I'm not a Raiders fan. I'll be a fan. I just got to have that local media coverage so I get into the team a little bit more. Frank has no LA Kings. Frank, Mr. Colombo, I would wear an LA Kings hat because I was a Gretzky fan and I liked Kelly Rudy, and he was one of the best goaltenders. He does good as a color commentator and broadcaster too. Reno says, go Lanny. The big old Lanny mustache, you gotta love it. What about masks? What about the mask your wife is making? Carrie asks. Great question. I told her that I don't want you guys to think that I'm doing nothing but selling you, so I wasn't going to talk about them tonight. She's been perfecting them on the sewing machine to the point where every 20 minutes I'm trying on a new mask to make sure it fits perfectly, because she doesn't want to give garbage out because she's really concerned about my viewers getting something good. So we're going to start putting out emails on Monday and Tuesday for everything. And, we don't even know what we're going to charge. Like, people are charging $3 for masks that are just garbage on Facebook Marketplace. There's literally probably 10,000 people making masks on Etsy. I don't know what to charge. I'm afraid of charging 15 plus shipping or $20 or something like that. People might say, you're just a rip-off con man. And that's not what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be authentic as I can. So Monday, if you emailed me, we'll get some information over the weekend with some photos, and you guys can actually order something and we'll ship them out anywhere in the United States. And I have to also find out about Canada. Awesome info on Vegas. Keep it up. Thank you, Misty. Ang haki ay para sa posers. I don't know about that, Sean. You speak Tagalog, huh, Sean? You're awesome. What do you think May 4th is to come early to Vegas? Reaper, some stuff might be open. I don't know. May 4th seems like it's so far away, but it seems like it's right around the corner, and I can't tell you for sure without you being mad at me if I'm wrong. I stopped watching the news because I'm tired of hearing about CV. I watch the news. I watch both sides of the news. I try to watch everything. It's tough sometimes because whereas we're looking for answers for one thing, one side's looking for other things. Everybody's looking for their own agenda, and I just don't like it very much. I want America and the world to be strong. Stephen Lake says $20. Do I have a second for 20? Sean says 20 is way too much. You're right, Sean. It is way too much. I'm just trying to calculate the price of the materials that we had to order online because you can't get anything locally. Also, the elastics I had to spend money on online. Granted, you get 10 yards for $14, but I still had to buy those. Plus the shipping. I think the shipping might have been free. Plus I have to factor in the time that it takes her to, take a pattern, lay out the pattern, cut the material, iron the material, sew the material, iron the material, package it up, go to the internet, post a thing, put it in a box. But 20 is Sean, you're a good guy and I love you and you're on my channel all the time. Maybe 20 is too much. I don't know. I'm booking a trip for October. Rates are $200 cheaper than a month ago. Lane, look at that. Lane scoring the deals. Do I like El Dorado Mexican restaurant? Yes, we've eaten there. It's a great place. Bonita, Michoacan is also a great place too. Jock, I would definitely give a special to buy 2 or 3. You can just email me. The email's right on the screen. Um, so if you're selling masks, 10, 15 for women's and men's versions. 10 to 15. All right, I'll let her know. Still have to ship them and everything like that. Shipping costs anywhere between $3 to $4 with priority mail. We will need masks, but with straw holes for drinks. How we play blackjack. The fun is over. I guess if you're a gambler and you have a terrible tell with your mouth, you can just wear a mask at the table all the time and nobody can tell. Have you been noticing whether or not they do in Macau might be done here? I think a lot of the technology might end up here. I think in China they have different regulations on what they can actually do when it comes to, health and medical stuff. We might be more regimented. Jack says 1999. Stephen, Bellagio violated your civil liberties. Whether Bellagio claims you're at the private property or not, it is of no concern since 2001 Ninth Circuit ruled private sidewalks are public forums. It's not a private sidewalk. I was actually going to show you guys this, and you guys can see it on my screen right now. So where I was standing right there falls into the box, and when I clicked on the box, it says right there on the side to the left, and it shows who actually owns that property. So like I say, it would be like if you allowed people to walk on your lawn, and then one day you said, I don't want you walking on my lawn anymore, and then all of a sudden you'd say, wait a minute, you don't want me to walk on your lawn? Okay, so kick me off. And you'd say, I'm asking you to leave nicely, and if you don't, then they would call the cops. So I'm not arguing that civil liberties 9/11, that's a very interesting point, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's debatable, and I don't have a lawyer, and I can't afford a lawyer, and there's no lawyers that'll work for free, so I'll never know. Do you think that Vegas is the hardest hit on the economy? BM asks, well, it could be Hawaii, then it could be Vegas. I don't know what to tell you.
I want to thank everybody.
Oh, you want to thank everybody? So my wife is here. It's her birthday. Say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Look at that. I got to focus you up. So you're focused.
This is a string of pearls.
String of pearls.
We're not killing it this time.
No,
we're
not going to kill
water
it this time. That's a string of pearls.
It's not going to live by itself, right?
Okay, so you got...
Hold on there.
Oh, hold on.
This is like
heavy.
really spiky.
Okay.
This is oh God. Well, I buy them small. It's an agave. I buy them so I don't know how big it gets, but I like them when I buy them like they're like babies like this.
Is that what we make tequila out of?
No, they're not the blue agave.
Right.
It'll be a while before. We'd rather just go to Liz liquor store for this. Anyway, so it gets big, but I like them small like this, so you can kind of like enjoy it, right?
Well, yes.
Because I think if you buy them like big, which is number one, it's expensive and it's cheating.
Now you did that instead of a lemon tree, huh?
Well, I'll save some money for the lemon tree.
Okay. All right. We want to plan we want a Myers lemon tree.
And that's going to be named after our friend that passed on.
Yes, we won't say that.
But yeah, we're not killing this one.
No, it's named after our friend.
The last one was a string of bananas, and we totally
messed it all up.
And
Can I eat these?
No.
Ah,
No, the one that I really want is like, it's called burro's tail, but those, donkey's tail.
Donkey's tail.
Not burrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay. A string of pearls, this is really pretty.
Is a donkey and a burrow the same thing?
I guess so.
I guess so. So now it's a donkey's tail.
We're from the desert. Anyway, so thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Beautiful.
Look, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
I know. I'm like, look at this. It's like so pretty. It's not like it's one of those things that you can watch it every day. Right?
Yeah, they grow.
And the pizza. We got the pizza too.
And we got Papa John's.
We got Papa John's. But they're so pretty. And it will live. We will. Thank you so much.
Thank
Salamat.
you.
If somebody's from the Philippines and they know what I'm
Somebody keeps saying Tagalog words.
I know, salamat. Or Visayan or something, but yeah. I'm happy. Actually, it's not just these. There's a couple more in the back. No, trust me. The money that you guys gave me, it got me a couple more, but they're in a bigger pot and I can't bring them in because it's in a big pot.
We'll have to video it and put it up on camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do that for me because there's a couple more little cuties.
All right.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, guys. Okay. So there you go. You made her happy.
I'm happy.
I'm not going to do a mukbang. That's not my style. Mukbang. I did that once at In-N-Out Burger. All right, guys. So, how old is the plant? The plant is probably a few months old. A woman never tells her age, don't you know? Papa John's was pretty good. Yes, I liked Papa John's today. Do a mukbang of Papa John's. Are you kidding me? That would cost hundreds of dollars, and I could definitely do it. I could put away some Papa John's in me. I would just starve myself for a day, and then boom. Yeah, the plants are very nice. She likes succulents. She wanted to get a Myers lemon tree. We have a neighbor that has a Myers lemon tree. And the thing about trees is that if you take a tree and if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? No. If you take a citrus tree and you just plant the seeds, it's never the same. Oh, Brett! You were in your rights on the sidewalk. The fact you are non-confrontational compliant is admirable. Don't worry about what jealous people think when super chats send your way. We love you. Yeah, I already had a guy. Be like, "Hey, yeah, you're gonna sign that mask for $1." Listen, man. Listen. And so, what you guys know, what you might know. Thank you, Brett Boyle, Brett Boyle, Brett Boyle, Brett Boyle, and Brett Boyle. All 5 of you. I'm so tired. I'm seeing quintuple. What you guys might not realize was that in the Soviet Union, back in the day, right, when the USSR held large swatches of parts of Eastern Europe, there was such a thing called the cottage industry. Now, it might have been a term that existed before that, but my Canadian educational system taught me it was a USSR thing. And it was where people couldn't make ends meet. And they're doing the same thing in North Korea right now. I guarantee you I lost all my revenue for this video by saying North Korea and USSR and communism. But they would take from the people, because if you were a baker, you'd bake the bread, they'd take the bread. People couldn't make their ends meet, so they started doing things out of their cottages in the countryside and hiding it from the authorities. And so that was the cottage industry. And right now, we are in a cottage industry economy. Have you guys noticed how many YouTubers are doing live streams incessantly, myself included? I guess I'm shameless. And I'm not saying that they're shameful, but I'm saying that I'm doing the live streams because people asked me to do the live streams on the YouTube, on the Facebook group, Not Leaving Las Vegas. They're like, hey, can you do a live stream every day? And I said, I have no idea what to talk about on a live stream every day. They said, it doesn't matter. And then somebody I know in New York City, who I can't say their name, I asked them permission. They said no because of their work situation. They said, look at, the people will tell you what to talk about, I guess. My wife is beautiful, Maganda, as they say in Tagalog or Visayan or any of the hundreds of dialects they speak in her country. But we haven't received a stimulus check, and I'm not qualified for unemployment, apparently, even though gig workers and people like me that are 1099 are supposed to get it. I had somebody in my chat telling me that 1099 people are just scumbags sucking off the system. You don't deserve it. Well, not right now. By the way, when you file your taxes and you're a 1099 person, that means you're an independent contractor in the eyes of the Internal Revenue Service. You actually pay those taxes, so you are entitled, but it's complicated. Anyways, guys, here's the thing. Your generosity means the world to me. And watching the videos, liking and sharing. I'm a little bit worried that Red Pill Gary left the chat. Oh, he's right there. Hi, Red Pill Gary. I thought you'd left. I thought I'd made you mad. I'm so hyper concerned about this. I've never seen so much love and everything, and I don't get it. So when I say, Red Pill Gary, I'm worried that you're cheating the system, it's only because maybe there's that thing where you doubt yourself a lot of the time. And by the way, I know when I do a video and it's good, like it's a good video, because I'm able to get through the video once. I don't have to do it 6 times. Sometimes I record the same 10-minute thing 6 times. So, it's like I record the same thing 6 times, 60 minutes of recording to maybe get it right once. Sometimes I do it well. Sometimes I feel like a terrible case of imposter syndrome, and you probably don't know what that is, but that's where like a person has to make a presentation to a bunch of billionaires and they feel like I don't even belong here. And sometimes it's tough. So, I get like a little bit concerned, but it's not that I don't have confidence in what I'm doing. I know my videos are a little bit better than they used to be, and they're getting better every single day. And I'm not saying my videos are any better than anybody is, but that's it. Oh, let's ask me a question. We're way off track here. It's just me talking. Nobody's even paying attention to me. I could be like, look, guys, I'm lighting my hair on fire, and nobody would say anything because everybody's just chatting and everybody's having a good time and hanging out, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted that. Yeah, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. You will be able to file as early as mid-May for 1099. Maybe, Mark, I filed and they said no because I had no reportable income. If I get mugged on the sidewalk at the Bellagio, is Bellagio responsible, Johnny? That's a very excellent question. I would actually be interested in finding something like that out. SS said, did you ask her about my question you wrote down yesterday? Oh man, I forgot to, and I will get on that, SS. Ooh, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix. Thank you so much. That was nice of you. Mad Max asks if I have kids. No, I don't, but we take care of my godson in the Philippines, Christian. If you guys want to tune into a live stream tomorrow, what I might do is I might make a little bit of a slideshow to show you a little bit about my life. I found some really old photos of me, and I have ones of me as a little boy, like 5, 6 years old. But I also have ones from like 2002. They're quite embarrassing, but I do have it. And, I can show you a few things about my life. I do. Hey, Brett, just the fact that you can explain the origins of the term cottage industry before mentioning something about cottage industries is so cool. Well, thanks, Brett. I appreciate it. I thought that's something that people knew. There's like a mosquito in my room. I didn't get the mosquito. That's the worst ever. I'm the worst ever, man. I'm terrible. I thought people learn that kind of stuff. Some people don't know. Some people do know. It really depends. Sometimes I just sit there when I can't sleep at night. My brain's going a million miles a minute about the future. And I read the Wikipedia. I read the entire Wikipedia entry for the history of the United States of America a few weeks ago. Kimberly asked if I heard of pigeons somewhere. That was an old thing, Kimberly. Somebody glued cowboy hats on pigeons back in November, December for the NFR. It was actually very bad because the pigeons then become targets from predators because they can't fly as fast. Their spatial awareness goes all away. It would be like if you took a plane's radar system and jammed it. It's not good for pigeons, but they did have them, and it was an internet phenomenon, and somebody got their clicks. Ridiculousness, right? Mosquitoes are in Vegas right now. Yes, they are. It's that perfect time of the year where it's cool enough and not super hot, and we can all be bugged by mosquitoes. Love the channel, and it sucks seeing the situation you're in now. That's why I've been trying to help out. No, Gary, I just want you to email me and let me know what channels so I can join in and just live vicariously through them, my friend. Red Pill Gary, you seem like a really altruistic, nice person, and I really appreciate that. So just send me an email, man. I want to talk with you more anyways. Maybe you can give me some good guidance for my channel because you seem to have it down more than me. I'm just getting fat luck, I guess. That's what I figure. Mr. Miyagi with the chops. Gig workers can't get UI until May. Believe me, I know. Uber drivers are waiting. That's good, Mark. So I've already filed. I don't know if I need to file again. Funny thing was, he was right to say I was being paid $100 million. No planes were flying. Andrew's telling a story. Mosquitoes with no water, Sean says, but we do have water. There's lots of pools that are drained in the winter. They have standing water. We do have water in the valley. Mosquitoes love the sprinklers in the backyard, for example, that kind of stuff. I do remember the locusts. That was crazy. Okay, I'm just here. I understand it. English, lived in Vegas for a while, just trying to understand what's going on. SS Vegas, I'm sorry. Keep up. Do your best, my man. I don't speak 2 languages. I think it's phenomenal when anybody who doesn't speak English natively watches me. That's a big honor for me. Can I get a Nevada ID, although I have a Cali driver's license and live in LA? Great talker and knowledgeable. Okay, hold on. Retiree challenge. Still have income? Send him $2. You don't have to do that, Brett, but thank you. That's very nice of you. No play for you. You can get residency, but it'll cost you a few dollars. Now, don't do this because this is not fair. But if you live at a weekly hotel in Las Vegas for, I believe, 8 weeks, or it could be 12, and you take that plus some other piece of mail that you get, then you have all of your other stuff. You can apply for the IDs. But that would be cheating. That would be lying to the DMV and getting residency. Now, if you're wealthy, you can go to like Nevada corporate headquarters, and a lot of people, they buy their residency. There's all sorts of scumbag ways to do it. And I'm not calling you a scumbag for wanting to do that. I would want to do it too. I mean, there's no personal income tax in this state, at least not yet. Who knows in the future if we're also broke, they have to have one. But, there's reasons to have residency here, but it's tough. And if you did that, and you could take 8 or 12 weeks or whatever it is of that payment slip that you have to that DMV, they would have to do it. But, you should probably really live here. But I appreciate anyone trying to maximize their tax or minimize their tax situation as well, I guess. Indominus asked if I will do meetups. Meetups are tough for a channel like mine because I'm not big enough yet. So I would have to have, what, 10, 20 people or something like that here all at the same time. So, I mean, if that was, if that was the case, you guys can subscribe to the channel if you want. I can get some likes from you too, please. If you're like a big channel with 50,000 subscribers, and trust me, there's plenty of those, then yeah, you can do meetups quite easily. Guys, we have 25 minutes left on the chat. But since I don't, I can't expect people to make special trips out here just for me. That would be ridiculous. That would make me a megalomaniac. I was thinking of doing tours out here if I had the time for it, maybe on the weekends, but I don't know what anybody would be willing to pay for a dinner or a dinner, just a lunch. Something like that. That would be like a meetup situation. I can't afford food for anybody. Sorry. The hardest thing to get in Vegas is food stamps, I've heard. SS says. Is that a question or is that an exclamation? You're about bending the rules? Hypocrisy. No, Wesley, I told people specifically not to do that, actually. So that's one other thing. I'm saying words really quickly. A lot of the time I talk quickly. It's because I want to make a video that's 10 minutes long that should be 15 or 20. If I talk slower, I'm not telling people to do that at all because that actually damages the state you're from when you're not paying personal income taxes and you're living in another state. People have to pay for the roads. People have to pay for the infrastructure. That's why taxes exist, right? Blackjack is here on camera. My friend, I can't say your name, Zavjerka one is going to subscribe. Thank you, Zavjerka. Jasonic Hedgehog, he's okay. He's getting better at not really trying to harass the other ones. Let's see if I can get his purr on camera. I don't know if you guys can hear the purring. It'd be funny if that was picked up. Maybe it is. You want to crank your speakers up. Let's get the man 200 likes. I appreciate Red Pill Gary for doing the white hat thing he's doing. I appreciate all you guys for watching. If Red Pill Gary is out there and listening, I'm not mad at you, bro. I just got really, really worried because I had somebody try to buy me likes before, and then I found out from YouTube that that's frowned upon. I was doing a channel on self-help and improvement, and I lost my channel. I just don't want that to happen again. Steven, I'll buy you and your wife dinner, no strings attached. Purr is loud. Yeah, this is a big old loud purring cat. Oh, man. We can hear it. I can hear purring. Purring loud and clear. Ah, the purr. Yeah, you can hear my cat. He's a pretty guy, and he's a good kitty. So where was I? Oh, yeah, the dress. Andrew Doolittle still telling their story. So, yeah, guys, I mean, we're just on lockdown here. It's the same thing every single day. There's not really any places to go or anything to do. Steve, what was the name of the high roller casino behind the strip? The high roller casino behind the strip. On which side of the strip? I'm not sure. There's a east side and a west side. They just extended stay at home till May 26th in Wisconsin. Sorry about that, Wisconsin. Are the casinos open yet? Briggs says. The answer is absolutely not. They're not open. And yeah, there's what it is. But it is what it is, guys. What can I tell you? Hi from Olds, Alberta. Wow, you're from the middle of nowhere. I bet you guys are finding it easy to isolate. Have they shut down Alberta entirely? Olds is a small town in Alberta. Las Vegas Hilton. Okay, could be that. That could be the Hilton. It's now the Westgate. It was never, well, I mean, it was a nice casino. It wasn't a high rollers casino, but that's what it was, you know? I got a black cat, and he is a big boy. He's going to be on a diet for a while, I think. Well, hopefully he gets skinny soon so he can be healthy. Steve, I'm wondering, have you gone to Henderson where Interstate 11 starts? Yeah, we were actually down in that area. I drove on Interstate 11. It's very small right now, but it's going to connect people together. It's going to connect Arizona to the Hoover Dam, to California and Las Vegas eventually, but it's a large project. Steve, near the Hershey store. High Roller Hotel near the Hershey store. I mean, the only hotels near there was no High Roller Hotel that I know of in that area. It's the other side of the strip. On one side is all just industrial road, and then you have other things on the other side like MGM. No high rollers that I know of, my friend. But maybe I'm wrong. It is like Groundhog Day. Turned out Phyllis, my wife, was to be picky about wedding dress too. Any word on Nevada's lockdown, Tim? I have not heard it's officially extended. If I did, I would tell you guys. The Thunderbird. Well, the Thunderbird's closed for a very long time, and the Thunderbird is actually on the north end of the strip. It was on the north end of the strip. Tony Quest is out. What's the word on the reopening, Patrick? We don't have any official word, but I'll be first to tell you. Haven't been to Las Vegas since 2016 or 13. And I got a big black cat. So, guys, what else can we talk about in this live stream tonight? We talk about traffic in Las Vegas, as in there is hardly any traffic in Las Vegas. You can get from one side to the other quite easily. Armen is here. Barev Armen. Why does it seem like a political play to extend quarantine to hurt politics? I wouldn't be surprised if... Well, my man Armen is getting totally political on me. He's trying to red pill the whole group, I guess is what they say, right? I don't know, Armen. I mean, there's other blogs that'll probably talk about that stuff. I'm not really going there because, I mean, I watch both sides of the news, and it's very interesting, the contrasting things that happen, you know, the way people go, the way people do. And let's see one sec. Oh, it's okay, Armen. It's cool, man. The last time I talked about anything, I said the wrong... thing. Everybody got on me and tried to go on my social media and then dox me. Paging Red Pill Gary. Red Pill Gary, are you around? I think I've alienated Red Pill Gary. Let me explain what happened in my YouTube life to you guys while we're here on a live stream, if you care. I started doing YouTube videos a long time ago. I kept a couple of different small channels. I had one that was just my name, another one that I made. I started posting up really old Vegas videos. And when I got to a point, where the videos were growing, I'm like, well, what I can do is I can go and get my old videos and I can post them up. And then I tried to download them. Yeah, so... Red Pill Gary, I hope you're not mad, bro. So what happened, I'm going to explain to you my history and why I was so worried for a minute there, and that energy just totally deflated and I screwed up my whole live stream. And I should delete this one, but I won't. There is a percentage of those watching and commenting that are just trolls. They're only commenting to get under your skin. 99% of us are watching because I'm awesome. Thank you. Barev to all the Armenians. So here's the thing. So I had a channel. I tried to download the old footage off of it. It was all stretched out, and I could not fix the aspect ratio no matter what I did. I might try to go back and do that. I had a flyover. It's the only video I ever had that had any views. It was like 20,000 views. I had some old magic acts, some old archival footage of the strip. I tried to fit my hand at a few more YouTube channels. One of the channels I tried my hand at was like a positive self-help kind of, it wasn't The Secret, because The Secret only works if you take actions, but positive thinking is the most important thing you can do, especially now. And I paid somebody some money to help grow the channel. And I was trying to refer people to a product that I created and made. I made a product. It's long gone now. You can't get it. And it was just a book that I wrote on positive thinking and stuff like that. And I like to write things. Maybe I'll write a book about Vegas one day. I don't know. But the thing is, they bought subscribers. I lost my channel because they bought subscribers. And it sucked. I'm really big on geography, Steve, and I like the road system. But here in the province of Quebec, it's like bing a bang. The rocks suck over here in the Belle Provence. I was watching South Park. Actually, no. For some reason, I was singing the song from South Park. There's no Canada like French Canada. It's the best Canada in the land. And the other Canada is Belle Canada. If you spent a day here, you'd understand. That's funny because South Park does good stuff. Jasonic Hedgehog, if you've never seen it, type in South Park French Canada song and you will laugh your butt off. So I lost a channel once, basically, because I was buying subscribers. So I'm very, very, very bad on that. The roads suck here in the province. You know, Jasonic, the roads are pretty bad everywhere. You know, and it's like the roads can't keep up. But I think Quebec has some very, very, probably... Welcome to Not Leaving Quebec, everybody. Bonjour, mon ami. Je m'appelle Steven. Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment ça va? Ça va bien, très bien. I don't know anymore. Bonjour. Parlez-vous anglais? Non? Non, pas? Okay, merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Anyways, I think that Quebec would have like some pretty serious deals when it comes to the roads because it's a challenge. I remember when I was in Canada, in Calgary, they built the only interstate-like road that ran through that city called Deerfoot Trail. They built it out of concrete, not asphalt, because with the roads there, the ice and the snow, and it gets hot and cold, c'est bien. Mayo on your French fries or gravy? I like gravy. Mayonnaise is a very Dutch thing. I had a friend that worked at the cinnamon bun place when I was up in the Marlborough Mall at Calgary, and she was from Holland. Isn't that weird? I am Dutch. I am Dutch. And she was like, she loved mayonnaise, man. It's not my thing, but some people like them. Okay, so anyways, are the roads on Las Vegas Boulevard getting redone? Well, that was the original plan, and the original plan was to take a year to do it and to make it all proacted. Oh my gosh, we only have 16 minutes left. 15 minutes left. Urgh. We're gonna have to continue this one tomorrow on the chats, guys. But anyways, they were gonna like tell the businesses, hey, we're gonna be doing work in front of your business, and now they're just doing the roads. Now it's like, oh, this is the easiest project in the world. How do we stretch this out? So, I don't know if you guys know how government appropriations with money work, but if you're a business or you're a government agency, sorry, and you're like the Nevada DOT, you might get $100 million from the state treasury that year. Brian Dennehy passed away. Oh, Brian Dennehy was in the South Park movie, as well as other things. And I can't name what Brian Dennehy was in. Can someone give a shout out to Brian Dennehy movies, please? Because I know the actor, but I can't place him in a movie right now. So, yeah, they were going to close the roads down. Now it's just like appropriations. So that's where we were. If they give you $100 million, but you finish under budget, then next year they're only going to give you what your budget came to. So that was that. And so now they're going to go ahead and they're going to stretch out the projects and spend more money than they have to. And that sucks. But you know what? Tommy Boy. Yes, he was in Tommy Boy. Thank you. He was the father, correct? In Tommy Boy? There it is. But I think when places where there's ice and snow and a lot of people, and because more people come to the country, and yes, he was also the boss in Commando, correct? Yes. But Vegas roads are pretty terrible in some spots. I'm from Saskatchewan originally. Take my word for it, you're not missing anything. Saskatchewan has their own Cocoon. Okay, he was in Cocoon, FX with James Woods, Cabin Boy. Cabin Boy. Is that terrible movie with, what's his name? That dude from Stand in the Place That You Work. Can't remember the name, but he was on a show on Fox for like a minute. Okay. Yeah, FX, we got Broadway stage, great actor. So yeah, in Vegas, they tear up the roads every so often because for a number of years, they were just building so much infrastructure. So they would just have to tear up the roads and build more cable lines. And yeah, that's the song. But there was a show from Cabin Boy and it had David Letterman in it. And he said, would you like to buy a monkey? I know, that's my YouTube trailer. Hello, everybody. I'm Steven, not leaving Las Vegas. Would you like to buy a monkey? And for some reason, David Letterman showed that clip on his show a lot back in the day. The new civil defense recently became a Patreon supporter, so they get access to the stuff that I'm supposed to be posting, but there's only so many hours in the day. Yeah, and my boss invited me to come to his house tomorrow and socially distance and try to make some cold calls. And hopefully I can make a few bucks there, but I've tried at home for the last 3 weeks and it has not been good trying to sell advertising. So that's tomorrow, and I have less hours in the day tomorrow. But thank you for joining the Patreon, the new civil defense. That was cool of you. I remember you from my credits. Jim is in my credits, I believe. Trashed my Achilles on the strip running the rock and roll. Yeah, but at least you can say you ran it, dude. You got to take a positive out of the negatives. Let's talk about taking positives out of the negatives right now. What can you take out of it? Steve, I want to start making YouTube videos. What camera should I get and what editing program should I get for a beginner? Reaper asks. Reaper, I would start with, if you're using a PC or a Mac, I would start with, on PC, I don't know if it's on Mac, Cyberlink Power Director. You can get an older version probably on eBay or on sale. And the camera is really dependent on you. I use this GoPro for a lot of things, but this GoPro is a pain in the ass from a technical aspect and standpoint. It takes great video. You can buy a $200 digital SLR, but just know that you might hear the lens and the choo-choo-choo as it's focusing. You just need a camera. What you need is a camera that takes clear 1080p video and can take an external mic. The external mic is why my videos sound so good. This was sent to me by a person that I know in Florida he's loaning this microphone to me, and also the camera I'm filming this on is a very old 9-year-old Panasonic GH2. It's a Lumix. I have so many cameras in my house. I mean, this is $1,000 camera right here, believe it or not. This one right here, I can focus in on this for you so you guys can actually see this deal. This is $1,000 Leica, and this one here is a German brand. They've been making cameras for a very long time. And I use this when I film stuff. Has no memory card in it right now. But you don't need an expensive camera in order to do good videos. You need to have content and ideas and be able to communicate. One of the best things I would tell anybody to do is to get The Wolf of Wall Street by Jordan Belfort. Yes, I know he might have done some dirty deeds and he may not have paid the right people that he said he was making restitution to. But if you can't get the book, but you can get on Audible for free, just sign up for an Audible account. I could post a link so you guys would sign up for Audible for free and I get $5, but there's no time for that. Ain't gonna buy, I got no time for that. If you get that book and listen to his tonality section, or just go on YouTube and type in The Wolf of Wall Street tonality, Tonality, you'll hear how he talks and how he enunciates. And when you do videos, Charisma on Command is a really good channel. He talks about communication. And when you talk to people, you should be able... What I do in a video, I'm really answering your question in a long way. You're probably not even watching anymore. But what I do... So in my videos, I try to talk to the camera as though a younger version of me that's never been to Vegas is sitting behind the camera, or as in a version of me that lives here and vacations here sitting behind the camera. I try to talk to the camera as though it's me wanting to learn the information. And then I try to say less words because I speak a lot. But not to say that people can't understand a lot of words, but they lose the point. So that's what I do. And so you need to have a topic, a camera, a decent microphone. I'm using this microphone right here, which is it's a nice microphone. It's a USB mic. It's jacked into my computer because I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. And I want to make this as close to a broadcast as I can. Couldn't recommend Charisma on Command enough. Discovered a few years back. Great info on that channel. Easy to digest. Absolutely. He is a very good communicator. Was it Reaper that asked me that question back then? There's too many. Yeah, okay. So Reaper says that. Now, in the past, I was telling people, well, I was thinking of helping people with their YouTube channels. And then this guy was like, well, you could help me. I'm like, well, I was thinking about doing a mini course. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I pay like $15 a month. And I'm like, no. Because to me, the knowledge is like, if I hit you with the knowledge real fast and it's a one-time thing, I can give you so much information, but it's all free out there too. There's Nick Nimmin, he's really good. There's Brian G. Johnson, he's also very good. Nick Nimmin has a brother. His name escapes me right now, but just look up Nimmin YouTube. They look very alike, but they have separate channels. It's kind of weird. And then you just need to be a good communicator. That's what you really need to do. You need to be able to get your message to a point. So my first videos were terrible. I didn't know how to convey a message very well. So Paul Kim says, Stephen J. Campbell for Future Chief Executive of Travel Media Officer, City of Las Vegas. That's a good title. It's made up. I might get that title made. Then maybe I'll put it on the back wall right there somewhere because I don't think that's a real title. One actor used to hand a picture of his son's face on the lens and talk to it as if he was a kid. Worked great. Can't remember his name. I don't know. It would be funny if it was Christopher Walken. He'd be like, this watch. That's the only thing I can say as Christopher Walken. Or if it was Arnold, he'd say, look over there. Young Arnold, look out. What's wrong with you? All right, I got 7 minutes left to butcher the Arnold impression. One actor, yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, but it really is, it's tonality, it's communication, it's being able to talk. Maybe it's because I did sales for a really long time that I'm able to convey information. Maybe not, because some people, they don't learn the skills. If you can't convince them, confuse them. Does that work? Yeah, but if you confuse people for too long, eventually they just tell you to jump in a lake. I thought I saw a Siamese cat, but she didn't mosey on this way fast enough. J Sonic Hedgehog is still here. J Sonic, what part of Quebec are you from? They call Quebec La Belle Province. It means the beautiful province, I think. And they also call, because Belle in Beauty and the Beast was beauty. Belle. Do you get it now? Yeah, I knew you got it before that. I was just reiterating the obvious. Makes sense too. Okay, we're talking to different people. Wow, close to 17K. Good to see you from your old mate Kiwi. Hi Kiwi, how you doing? Kiwi, I'm actually 17,454. I'm pretty blessed. I'm pretty lucky. Close to 18K almost. Jay Sonic, are you in the francophone or the anglophone side of the island? Jack Carr, Steven, any plans to celebrate when I hit 20,000? I'm going to wake up that morning, look at the Vegas news, and I'm going to say, hi, everybody, this is the news today, and I am not leaving Las Vegas. 20K is not a big deal, guys. It is what it is. I don't think it'll get to 20K, but maybe I am lucky. Maybe Red Pill Gary's got the secret sauce and can tell me what the heck he's doing in case Red Pill Gary takes an internet break and then I stop growing, because that must be why I'm growing. Some people call him a space cowboy, and Steve Miller just shot me $2. Thank you so much, Steve Miller. Steve Miller, Steve Miller, Steve Miller, Steve Miller. And I cannot name another Steve Miller song. What is wrong with me today? My brain has turned it off. Steve Miller. Steve Miller. Steve Miller Rock Band, apparently. What are those songs? The Joker, Jet Airliner. Okay, yeah, that's good. Fly Like an Eagle. Look at that. I failed my pop culture from the 70s and the 80s today, but I want it because of Google. Eckerlin says, I'm killing it. Thank you. Thanks, Steve Miller Band, for the money. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks, Steve. I wish I was down to 3 years, despite my terrible pick with that gray beard. I have a few decades to go. Anglophone, well, more Italian side. Ah, you're Italian. That is awesome. I'm surprised you don't live in Toronto, because there's a lot of Italians in Toronto. He's a joker. He's a smoker. Fly Like an Eagle. Yeah, Jet Airliner. I can't believe I didn't get those 3 songs. I don't know. Take the money and run. Man, I'm terrible at this. I mean, I can talk esoteric, weird pop culture for a long time, but, you know, it is what it is. And I got Abracadabra. Man, that Steve Miller was a popular guy. Is he still alive? He should play Vegas. He would do a good residency somewhere like the Caesar's Palace. Don't you think that would work? That's because you're working so hard. That's why you can't think right now. Yeah, Reaper, and that's another thing too. I guess consistency matters a whole lot, because I have noticed in the past when I went on spurts and I'd open up different ones, I would be able to get more subscribers. Say Hi to Matthew only had 140 people. You had 400. I actually got close to 475 at one point, Jeff, but thank you. Say Hi to Matthew is a great channel. You guys should all go check him out and tell him I said hello. But he has way more subscribers than me, so you don't have to worry. You had it to 352 last night. Yeah, it was pretty good last night. It's pretty strong tonight. He's still alive. I'm still here. I'm not Italian, but he's in the Italian neighborhood. Very cool. Very nice. Jay Sonic. Steve Miller is alive. AC Milan fan. We got some soccer, footy fans in the house. And he still tours. Well, come on to Vegas, Steve Miller. You can play in my front yard for me. We'll socially isolate. I'll hold up a lighter just like they do in the classic days. Good night. Take care, April. I'm out in 3 minutes, too. Thank you for being a moderator today, Champagne Pappy. Let's do this right now, okay? This is what we want to thank today. We want to thank everybody in the chat today for being great. I appreciate you guys doing that. I hope I didn't tick off Red Pill Gary, but I told you the story about how I lost a channel pretty much because of that whole buying things, and I got worried because who the hell gets 2,000 subscribers, almost 3 in just 3 days? Nobody. That's who. Bree says 3. So, Bree... Well, that's new. Thank you, Bree28, 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 who misses egg blank breakfast sandwiches at the Cosmopolitan. There was a lineup for that place when it first opened. And I'm like, there's a McDonald's, or a McDonald's, depending on if you're talking like Eddie Murphy or not, right across the street. But that's a reference from a movie. What movie does Eddie Murphy say McDonald's in, folks? But yeah, that's popular. Steve Miller, thank you to Steve Miller. These are the Super Chat special shout-outs. Thank you so much. Brett Boyle. Thank you, Brett Boyle. Brett Boyle again. Brett Boyle again? Jeez Louise, Brett's epic. You guys are all epic, even if you didn't Super Chat. Even if you said whatever, said hi. Leonard Takix, Brett Boyle. Anthony T. Running at Altitude. Paul Roder, or Roder, I don't want to say it wrong. Eckerland. Herbert Daughtry. Victor Kral. Those are the huge rock stars that were chipping in today, and thank you for chipping in today. And if you're a moderator like Connie Thomas, or you're Jack Carr, or your Champagne Pappy, or your April Martin Chartrand MS. She has a very big, expensive degree that I couldn't even imagine getting. Oh my God, you got to work hard for what she did. Good for her. Or if you're D, or Jack Carr, or Red Pill Gary, or Connie Thomas, and I'm saying the same names over again. If you guys are those moderators, thank you so much for being my moderators tonight, and I really appreciate you guys keeping the comments chill, mellow, cool, kicking up some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys that are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared, and she said, "You're going to live with your auntie and uncle in Las Vegas, Nevada." I whistled for a cab and went coming to America. That's right. I was sorry. I got off on a tangent, and I started singing the theme song from Fresh Prince to Bel-Air. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the cat. Wake up in the middle of the night. I'm tired. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, share, subscribe. I gotta go. You guys are great. We gotta go. Okay, the stream ends. Give me a 3, 2, 1 click. I got Del Lamb said it. I got Reno said it. I got Leonard said it. Everybody mash 3, 2, 1 click. 3, 2, 1 click.